So how does the chase strategy look like? The first of our basic strategies. The idea is we want to produce the amounts demanded by our customers at any given time. So if we look at months as planning as periods, then for the next 12 months we want to produce in each month the number of items that are required by our customers in that month. So we try to meet the demand exactly. And you should also be aware of that it is not always a choice which strategy you should apply, level or chase strategy or subcontracting. In some industries you do not really have a choice, but you have to follow one of the strategies. So a chase strategy needs to be followed, for example, by restaurants. Yeah? In a restaurant, typically the food is only prepared once the customer places an order. So we cannot produce, at least if it's a good restaurant, we cannot produce our meals on stock. We cannot produce them in advance. Maybe we are able to do some preparations, but we cannot store our meals and therefore we cannot produce in advance. So we need in a restaurant always produce, we have to produce what our customers orders, what comes in as demand. For farmers it can be similar, depending on the demand, depending on the weather conditions. We have to take some actions that are out of our control. The same for post offices, parcel services. For example, now in Europe, Christmas time, many people send letters, send parcels, and a lot of e-commerce shopping is going on. And of course, the companies like DHL or UPS, they need to be able to fulfill the demand. They cannot say, oh no, we reject some of the orders. Then they would be quickly out of business. So they need to follow the actual demand. It is not acceptable in these industries, for example, to extend the delivery time from 1 or 2 days to 20 days just in order to smoothen the output curve. They have to do it immediately. And the problem with the chase strategy then is that we have to take into account these peak capacities, and we have to design our logistics system so that it is able to meet these peak capacities. And the capacity therefore is typically way bigger than the peak demand, and if the peak demand is only for a couple of weeks in a year, then the rest of the year a lot of capacity is idle, and it's somewhat a kind of waste of resources. Here's the graphical representation. So I already showed you the demand curve over time, and the chase production, this is the output of our production process. It is dashed here. It should be as close as possible to the demand curve, and it is just drawn a little bit higher than the demand curve for visualization reasons. Ideally they should lie on top of each other, these two curves. Then the chase strategy is fulfilled in the best possible way.